Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to use GitHub as a version verification repository. So when you are working on a project and you may be part of a team, it might be important to make changes to the work you're doing and keep track of all the changes and exchange ideas with the others in the team. So one way to do this is to use a GitHub repository. For example, we are in R and we are going to set up a new project. Let's say, for example, I am doing data wrangling, okay, and this is just an example, and I want to share my findings with the others in my team, or I want to just keep track of the changes I'm making. It's very important to say that if you are already within a project, and you want to set up a GitHub, the procedure may be slightly longer. So for now, I would suggest you to set up a GitHub into a new project. Okay, so for example, I open my GitHub and say that I want I like set up a new repository, and I call it data wrangling, for example. This will be my new repository, and it's supposed to be linked to my R work that I'm already doing. I put it on private, and I add a redeem file, create repository. And there you go. Okay, there is nothing at the moment to add the works that you're doing in R. And as you see, we were been working on this data wrangling script. And we want to keep track of these changes because sometimes you may need something that you have done before. So this is just an example. We are not in a project. So I suggest you to set up a new project and say, I want version control of this project. And I clone a project from a GitHub repository, which is the GitHub repository we just have made. He asks for the URL. We take the URL of the data wrangling repository we just made. And then set up a name, which is for the same as the wrangling. And then, which is in R. Okay. So this is in R, and I create the project. He has now create a new project, data wrangling, which is different from before because we weren't inside in any project. And a few more differences are that you have GitHub set here, and you see the arrows up and down, pull and push highlighted, so you can see that you can use them. And then there is nothing because this is just a new project. This is the project. This is the ready moment empty, but it's just the same as this one here. And then you see that there is this other file, which is gitignore. This is a feature of GitHub repositories, version verification, because you then can select the files that you want to push into your GitHub repository. So now I want to add my script. the script I was working before. Okay, so I go back and take the script I want, and I move it into my new project, which is data wrangling. So now in my project data wrangling, I have the script I was working on before, and it's all done. So at this point, I want this script going into GitHub. Okay, so to do this, this is the script, this is the GitHub, which I have it here, and this is the data wrangling R script. I'm going to click on GitHub, see the differences, and he doesn't find any differences because I haven't made any differences, but I'm going to stage the script and then commit it with a message and say sending my first script. And commit it. Now he has commit the file. Close everything and see if it does find any of these files in data wrangling. And as you see, there is nothing because you have just made a commit. So the next step you have to do is to push your script into your repository. So you don't find the script here because you already made a commit. What you have to do is just to push it into your GitHub. That's done. Then you go back to repository, reload, and find your script. As you see, you go inside, and that's your script. Now, I want to show you something else. Now we have the script here. I can make changes and then commit them, and then say I can commit the changes and say I'll push them again, and I will find these changes on my GitHub. I don't know, like writing a new vector with a sequence of numbers 1 to 100 by 1, and it goes from 0 to, okay, I've made this and I want to say this to see this vector, which is this. Okay, it said it doesn't find any changes, but it has been modified because this is the M, that means modify. I'm going to push the changes and say that everything is up to date. So I need to commit the changes. As you see, these are the changes. So added a new vector, name it A, and committed. Okay, one file changed, two insertion, one deletion, blah blah blah. All fine. If I push it here, I can do that. it works as well. So I'm going to reload my 26 seconds ago. Yes, changed my file, adding the things I've just added. Now, so this is how it works. What's happened if I do make the changes from here? For example, I want to change the redeem from here, okay? And I change it. Let's say this is a version control repository for a data wrangling project. Okay, so I've just made these changes, preview the changes. This is my, and I do set up a commit and say added explanation to the theme file and commit the changes. So that's all done. Now, if I am working on this project, suppose I don't know that someone else in my team has made changes, and I make further changes in here. When I commit them or attempt to push them, it doesn't accept it because I need, and I say you need to first pull the changes from the GitHub. You see, it says that on my redeem file something changed within some insertion. So I'm going to see my redeem, and this my redeem has changed. So this is fine. So I'm going to change it again. Change it again. Differences. Just save it. Painting. Redeem, modify, and so the redeem has been modified. I'm going to say that I've changed the first word and commit it, then close and push it. We close this and let's check if everything is updating. Reload the file, and then this has been corrected. Then you may want to add some contributors, the setup settings of your GitHub, and say manage access, and then you can invite a collaborator. If any questions, you can post the questions, and we will add more information as upon request. Bye now.